Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, Joseph and I think, pretty much covered it in the Fanatic Rundown last night. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, our game review is up on the channel now. And yeah, it was just another painful Edmonton Oilers game to get through. I mentioned in the video last night, I've seen two Oilers games this year live. The season opener against the Winnipeg Jets, and last night I've seen the Oilers get outscored 11-3 in those two hockey games. So, yeah, not having a very fun time at Rogers Place this year to start out. And I feel bad for the other fans at Rogers Place, too, just getting treated to this. The Oilers came into this season with so much higher expectations than what we're seeing right now. They're 10-9-2 currently with one game to go before a 5-day break. And the Oilers have some work to do on that 5-day break. I'm not sure how many times they're practicing, if it's a full 5 days off totally for the team, or they'll get some practices in the meantime. But they certainly have some things to work on. The coaches have to work on some new systems, something new for the power play. The power play just continues to struggle for this team. They didn't get any power plays until, I believe, the third period last night, so it really couldn't bail them out. But 5-on-5, they just were not generating anything. They got a couple gift goals. I'd say the Corey Perry goal was really the only one the Edmonton Oilers earned last night. And when you really only earn one out of your three goals in a 5-3 loss, there is no mystery as to why you lost that hockey game. The Oilers were outworked. They looked lifeless most of the night, and just a very, very frustrating hockey game to watch. Stuart Skinner struggled once again, which continues the goalie narrative out there. Insider Pierre LeBrun put out a report today regarding Anaheim Ducks goaltender John Gibson. He had this connection with the Edmonton Oilers in his article. An outlier team in the mix is the Edmonton Oilers. Gibson has a modified no-trade clause, but my understanding is he would consider the Oilers, who came one win short of the Cup last season. But my sense is that goaltending is not the Oilers' focus right now. That's not because their goalies have been fantastic, but because that type of trade would have a lot of moving parts and affect their cap. Right now, the Oilers are focused on getting their forward group going in a more effective and consistent offensive way, and closer to March 7th, I suspect the blue line will require an addition. So it doesn't sound like the Edmonton Oilers are even considering a goaltender trade at this point, but really, John Gibson's numbers have not been anything to write home about over the last few years. I know he's been stuck on a very bad Anaheim Ducks team. He has a $6.4 million cap hit. Get the Ducks to retain 50%, turns him into a $3.2 million goaltender. That's certainly easier to swallow, and I believe he's got a couple years left on his deal after this one. So in some respects, I can see it, but John Gibson really hasn't delivered solid numbers in years. Anything is possible. Goaltenders really are voodoo. Maybe John Gibson could come in and have a big impact for the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know. Jason Greger posted this from Chris Knobloch's post-game scrum. His game isn't where it was last year. When I was here, I thought he was one of the top goalies in the league. If he had a bad game, he'd bounce back the next night. We need to be more predictable in front of him, so he knows where the shots are coming from. Tonight was not a predictable night for a goalie. So that doesn't sound like Chris Knobloch has completely lost faith in Stuart Skinner. He's pointing out he's struggling for sure. We all see he's struggling. I've seen the comments. I totally get it. I'm a Stuart Skinner believer, but I can see it clearly in front of my eyes as well. He's struggling, and I get where the goalie talk is coming from, but I really think the Oilers are going to try and stick with these two guys. If the season continues to go off the rails and we're still having this conversation in January, February, maybe the Oilers start going in that direction, but I think they're going to try other avenues first. I would expect a defenseman to come in first and foremost. They brought in Kasperi Kapanen. He had a decent first game, but nothing too amazing, but he is starting with a brand new team, so expectations can't be too high for a guy like that, but a defenseman, I think, is where the Edmonton Oilers are going to end up going here. As for who comes in, Ivan Provorov, a guy we were talking about, Mike Matheson. There's a few different names out there. What actually happens, we have to wait and see here. But for now, guys, the Oilers have a lot of problems aside from goaltending, and I just wanted to kind of focus on that today with the John Gibson rumors coming in. I also wanted to share this from Dustin Nielsen. Dusty posted this. Oilers' record this season against teams in the playoffs as of today versus non-playoff teams, assuming the Oilers don't come back tonight versus Mini, which of course they didn't. The Oilers 1-6-2 against playoff teams, 9-3 against non-playoff teams. They're beating the bad teams, losing to good ones, and I believe 3 of those wins were against Nashville. So 3 of the Oilers' 10 wins on the year against one team. So the power play, lifeless hockey, struggles in goal, struggles on defense. The Oilers have a whole list of problems here. No one solution is going to fix everything, but I think this 5-day break is coming at a good time. It allows some injured guys to heal up, allows the team to have a bit of a reset, and I'm just really hoping they can close it out here with a really strong game tomorrow night against the New York Rangers. It would be great to end this on a win, go into that 5-day break feeling good about yourself. So they'll be at home on Rogers Place ice in front of Rogers Place fans, and hopefully, unlike last night, the Oilers can find a way to get it done. So I think that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the current state of the Oilers. What do you think about John Gibson, some of the defenseman targets out there? Who do you want to see the Oilers go after? Let me know in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.